welcome to the Rebel News Daily live stream. How are you guys doing? Alexa, Catherine, living the dream.
Always.
Awesome. For those who don't know, this live stream airs every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube, Rumble, Getter, and Odyssey. And please send your chats throughout the show. We'd love to read them at the end. We'll actually share it on screen, add a little commentary. It'll be fun, and you can give Rebel News a few bucks, which we appreciate.
Yeah, and we'll chat.
We'll chat. We love to chat.
We do.
Perfect.
And I say, if you have question in French, don't hesitate. Sometimes, like, some people understand the English but doesn't write in English, so feel free to write in French as well.
Yes, and we are also joined by Pepe the Pug today, who also speaks French. So, so hopefully you two can collaborate.
Can you see his eyes, like
his little eyes.
He's so cute.
Hello.
He is also a far leftist.
He is a leftist, so we may have some banter throughout, and it could get angry, but we'll hopefully it doesn't come to that. Anyway, how you guys doing? There's a lot going on in the news. Should we jump into our first story?
Yes, of course. But did we explain about, like, maybe we would touch like a really wavy topic at the end? So, as you know, YouTube does not permit us to talk about really wavy and COVID topics. So, if you want to follow us at the end, because we will probably switch of platform, you can follow us on Rumble, Getter, Odyssey. Do we have something else?
No.
Okay.
You nailed it.
It's going to get spicy.
It will probably get spicy. Yes.
It's like ladies' night, but it's ladies'
Female Fridays.
Day. Yes.
Perfect. All right, well, let's jump into this clip here that we have. Is this Jagmeet Singh? Love that guy, leader of the NDP.
And our boy William.
Yes.
Hi, William Diaz. Nice to meet you too. Knowing that, can I ask you a quick question?
Go for it.
Can you tell me one country where socialism has worked?
All right, we gotta keep walking, man.
One country, just one. Soviet Union, maybe?
No, it's worked in Scandinavian countries really well.
It's not socialism.
You don't.
Hi, have a good day, sir. Jagmeet Singh, hi,
He
William
didn't
Diaz.
know who William was with, obviously, because Jagmeet famously does not speak to Rebel News. That's his mantra.
He did speak to Alexa.
Oh, yeah, he did. But did he know who you were?
So at the beginning, no. Afterwards, the second time I caught him, he did answer until someone was like waving behind him, saying like, "No."
She's so scary. Look at her.
Scary, beautiful woman.
Yeah, she's terrifying.
I gotta say, his mask though, that is like a fancy mask.
Well, he's a fancy guy.
He's a fancy guy.
That's
cool
like
for
a
school.
that's like a KN 9000.
KN 9000.
So,
Yeah.
It's interesting that
I would say I'm pretty happy he changed his mask, because I saw him wearing like the same mask that he was putting on the bench. He was putting him in his pocket, putting back in his face. So I was like, this is really a beautiful method to use a mask.
Yikes.
My dad used the same mask for 6 months.
Well, and his immune system is probably doing
Like, where is that thing? Oh, it's here.
It has like an odor. It's growing. It's growing like a new mask.
COVID aside, like, your skin doesn't want that.
But it's interesting.
Don't forget about that.
Oh, hey.
That shirt is so fire.
Justin Castro. Yikes.
I feel like, how is that legal?
I don't know, but you know what? We got a top-notch lawyer
Yeah, we do.
on the case. So
we do.
Perfect. Well, that was an interesting encounter.
Implication, yeah. Yeah, William is...
he's a go-getter.
He is a go-getter.
He really gets in there.
Yeah.
I can't believe
Fearless.
Jagmeet shook his hand.
Yeah.
Like, what about the virus?
I was going to say, doesn't he know that the pandemic is not over?
Yeah, and like, how about an elbow bump,
Yeah.
you know? Like,
Nah.
anyway.
But it's just so funny how his handler, who's probably the same age as William,
Yeah.
comes in, he's like, okay, that's enough. Like, what? So he's like, can I ask you a question? It's like, okay, it's got to be like, why are you so awesome?
Yeah.
How come you're the greatest? And
Only
if it wasn't,
approved
if it wasn't
questions.
one of those questions, it was going to get shut down. So I'm surprised that he didn't just say, oh, I'm sorry, I can't answer questions anyways, like so many politicians do. Because what was he thinking the question was going to be? Some softball nonsense? Like,
Yes.
And we know that Jagmeet Singh have make an agreement with Justin Trudeau, but a lot of people are saying that Justin Trudeau will maybe do an election at this fall. So I'm just like, so finally, like, the maybe agreement is not really working well.
yeah. And then Jagmeet will get to go and start criticizing Justin Trudeau
Yeah.
again. Although
like
we all know they're only all going to attack the Conservative candidate, who most likely will be Pierre Poilievre. My theory on why Justin Trudeau would call an election, because we just did this, is because he thinks that the Conservative Party is scattered right now because they don't have a leader. So as soon as they pick a
Right.
leader, that leader, again, probably Pierre
Have to
Poilievre,
scramble.
isn't going to have enough time to really establish himself. So I think what Pierre Poilievre has been doing, which has been effective, he's basically doing like campaign videos already. Like he's
Yeah.
preemptively.
yeah, exactly.
And I think the biggest reason why he might call an election in the fall is because his hair will be grown out by then, and then he'll have acquired his old voter base, because that's the real reason he was elected. Let's be honest.
It is true. It's the hair and the last name, and I've said this, like I said this in 2014 or whatever when he first campaigned. But I was joking around like months ago about how, like, if suddenly his hair was like, if someone
he
shaved his head or something, like people would be like, I don't know why he doesn't, his policies don't speak to me anymore. He's
He
like,
kind of looks creepy.
he's like kind of creepy now. I don't know why. It's like,
Like
seeing
look at how many memes of him with this short hair with like dumb and dumb.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
it's
It's
so
aged
funny.
him like so much. Anyway,
Yeah,
I don't want to get petty, but
understand
like,
what it
Is
I
it
just-
me?
I don't like his opinions anymore.
No, but it just I find that you have a hag face.
A what face?
a hag face,
Eggs
like a witch,
like
an old-
like a hags. A egg.
Oh, an
Oh.
egg.
like an egg. I was like,
Like
a
a
hag,
like a hag.
like an old hag. You're
Both are
vicious,
true.
cutthroat here
Yeah.
at Rebel News. That's really funny.
Yeah. Well, yes. Yeah, he's, whatever.
Anyway.
Cool. All
No.
right. Awesome. All right. So here's the thing. I think this is from the Daily Caller. Yeah. So 50 school districts granted $10,000 each by It Gets Better project to promote gender ideology in schools. Oh, Lordy.
Well,
It was time for
Yeah.
it, really.
This is a part of the agenda, no?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
everybody is not a man or woman anymore. You can call yourself like whatever you want. You can be like a unicorn if you want. You have no problem.
That's
well, and
me.
it's kind of interesting because one of the examples of how some schools plan to use the money is creating a gender-affirming closet at school to help trans students access clothing that fits their true selves, and then funding the remodeling of single-gender bathrooms. But it's like, how many kids are actually suffering from gender dysphoria where you will need to actually build these spaces for like one other kid? Like it's one kid in the school, or are there dozens and dozens of these kids now?
There are so many kids now,
Right.
But the idea that they're all actually suffering from gender dysphoria
Right.
is probably not the case. And also, like, we've all been young kids.
Yeah.
But sorry, that goes without saying. So having a safe space to use the bathroom when you're growing up and going through puberty without the opposite gender there or opposite sex is crucial.
Yeah.
I would have not gone to school. Like, and again,
mortifying.
sorry to talk about periods, but when you're going through puberty as a girl, the last freaking thing you want is a boy in the bathroom.
Oh yeah.
It's mortifying.
And I need to know, as a person who's been bullied all my school, the only place that I found a refuge was the bathroom, where
Right.
I was alone without guy coming and bullying me or other girl. And if I haven't had that place, I don't know what I will be.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a really sad but good point. It is kind of a place of refuge. I mean, you see that on TV all the time. Someone
Yeah.
gets bullied, they go and they eat their lunch in the bathroom kind of thing. Yeah, and I think I know these are just kids, but we should we want to preserve female spaces, and women have things that you mentioned, but like periods and stuff. Like we need our space. Like I don't want to have to go to the bathroom and do my thing, and then there's a
boys
dude
have
in
weird
there.
stuff going on.
Yeah,
at
of course.
Puberty too. Like they don't want girls around, and it's awkward. And also the less obscene one is the gender affirming closet, but it's so offensive because haven't we come to a place where your clothes don't define you?
Yeah.
Like if I'm again, I was a tomboy when I was a kid, and like I liked to wear shorts and like loose t-shirts, and I had short hair. Like no one had to teach me that it was okay to not dress like a girl when I was going through puberty and I was in those awkward years. Like I already knew that it was okay, and now they're going to spend valuable class time when like someone like me could have been learning how to read because I was dyslexic. Like now you're going to use closet time. Like what is the point of that? We already know, like if boys want to wear pink, we're already past the point where we think that's fine. Go for it,
well,
kid.
That's a really good point. yeah, I lost my train of thought, but
I made a good point.
She just distracted me with her wisdom and knowledge. But
I think you were going to say something, Alexa.
I was just telling as well, when you're a young woman, how much you're intimidated by a man.
Yeah.
So going to a toilet where it's supposed to be just a place where you have your privacy. For I think a lot of young girl, but as well young men, will be traumatized at one point.
I remember what I was going to say. In the U.S. too, like a lot of people actually aren't at the proper reading and writing level. So it's like, why are we prioritizing on, affirming a kid's gender when they can't even read? Like, if you can't read, if you can't communicate, you will not be successful in society. Like, cool, your gender was affirmed. That's all nice and peachy.
Yeah.
But like, good luck getting a job if you can't, read or write.
Yeah.
I just think like we should be focusing on actually educating our kids in these schools and leave the gender stuff to their parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when they grow up, like they're talking about children.
Yeah.
I actually don't know what the school age is.
I think I saw junior. A rising junior is one of the descriptors of someone.
Yeah, like
so
a
maybe
junior-
like
is it
junior
junior
high,
high or like-
middle school maybe. I don't know. Anyway.
In the past, how it was working, like we didn't have all this pushing for gender or stuff, okay? A parent was capable to see, oh, my son, it's more like, interested by toy of girl. We'll see later when it will grow, how that will turn out. But when it will be the point where I think that maybe he can be gay or something, I will just tell him that he have so many different gender that he can be and just choose the one that you want to be. But when they are young, pushing, it's changing something inside them that say, oh, you know what? But maybe you this or maybe you that. And after that, they are searching. But naturally, your body and all you are will just develop naturally. You don't need to push it.
Yeah.
I think the most evil thing we can do as a society is confuse kids. And that's exactly what's happening right now. And it's just so cruel. It's so unbelievably cruel. And I mean, I think the pendulum is kind of swinging the other way. I think people are starting to notice that this is absolutely insane. People on the right and the left are calling this out. So hopefully, even though there are crazy schools that are implementing these sorts of things, the pushback will be large enough that it just won't become the norm. But what do you think, Pepe? He's snoring, so I'm so sorry.
He's awake and fully snoring.
Yeah.
That's
Apologies.
Puglet.
I'm just so sad I'm not there for petting him.
I know, he's so soft.
He's very soft.
He's
but
very smooth and soft.
He thinks everyone should be any gender they want, though.
Yeah.
So he's
And you know what? That's
cute, too.
succulent is adorbs.
It's very
I would agree with Pepe that people should be whatever gender they want when
Consenting
when they're
adults.
adults.
Yeah.
When they're adults. And I don't think there's anything wrong with like when you're in high school, if like what Alexa was just saying, people can already like, first of all, you can grow out of it. The parents can say, oh, my kid is into ballet. He's a boy. That's okay. It's always been okay. Other than back in the 50s.
Hello, Billy Elliot.
Yeah, hello. Like, we shouldn't beat up kids who are different.
No.
That goes without saying. And anyone who does that is a bully and an ass. But just use up valuable class time when half the kids can't read anyways. And, like, I think it's homophobic. This is something that other people have said in the past, but it's like, what if my kid is just gay? Is that not okay? Are we not okay with? And you're going to confuse them by saying, oh, what's inside you? Do you like this? Do you like that? Oh, maybe you're a girl. Try on this dress. It's like, well, what if he's just gay?
You're
What
kind
if-
of making something out of nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, let him grow into the person he or she's going to be when they grow up. And and if they are one of the very small percentage of people who are actually like born intersex, which is like
Which is not
tiny,
transgender.
which is not transgender, or if they have gender dysphoria, that's something they can deal with as an adult.
And get them help. Get them proper help, too,
Yeah, and
you know?
if they don't, like, they can get help or they can choose to live in another gender, that's an adult choice. Like,
Yeah. I only say get help because most people outgrow gender
yeah,
dysphoria.
and it is,
Yeah.
a mental condition. But
My
that.
only concern, like, take that money and do something against like bullying kids, because this is the major problem there.
Yeah,
Who
especially with social media.
Yeah. And destroy a lot of people. And I remember like my mom tried so much like that stuff and it never stopped. And I think this money can probably train the children to say, accept everybody. Just accept that everybody can be different than you, not pushing people to be different
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's true because you are already born a unique individual. Like we should just celebrate your God-given individuality rather than force kids to be something that they're just not for the sake of, individualism and being unique.
And making certain kids feel like they're heroes. If one kid is like, oh, I'm gender dysphoric. Oh, you're a hero.
Yeah, it's
Everyone
like,
loves
no.
you more than this kid who's like, well, I'm not gender dysphoric. Does that make me
But I'm really good at math.
not an ally? Like it's
Yeah.
like they're the enemy just because they're like, I don't feel like I was born in the wrong body. It's like,
It's okay to be normal.
It's
That's
okay.
the thing. It's okay to be normal because as normal as you may feel, you are unique.
you're not normal anyways,
No.
no matter what.
Yeah.
Look at us.
Should we do a little ad break, guys?
Let's do an ad break.
Oh yeah.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna ad break dance while it's happening.
Pepe, drop the beat.
My mug? I know. It's pretty cool. So is this hoodie I got on, and you could have it on too if you check out our special website at rebelnewsstore.com. That's where you can see Freedom Focus hoodies that we have for you, beanies, cell phone cases, you name it, all while supporting our journalism where we fight to bring you the other side of the story, as opposed to, being forced by the Trudeau government to fund leftist media out of your taxes. The truth is, without you and your generosity, there is no Rebel News. So again, if you like the reports that we bring you and that we also fight for freedoms in Canada, please consider doing some shopping, picking up some swag at rebelnewsstore.com. We appreciate your support.
Ugh, Drea is such a star.
I was gonna say she's such a pro.
She is such a pro.
Ooh, look at that mug.
So you guys, right now, actually, though, the Rebel News Store has a really amazing deal. You use code SUMMER at checkout. You can, if you buy 2 unisex shirts, you can get 1 for free. So that is such a good deal. So use code SUMMER. You buy 2 unisex shirts, get 1 for free. And then you can buy the shirt Alexa's wearing. David Menzies also has
You
it.
can look like Alexa. Why wouldn't you want
Why
to?
would you not want to look like Alexa?
Uh-huh.
And there's so much fun new merch that we have in the store too, like anti-eating bug stuff. We've got some Farmer Rebellion stuff. We've got the Pope's coming, so we have some cool new church themed, Catholic themed stuff, Christian themed stuff. So you guys check it out. There's just an array of fun stuff in the store.
In the store.
Yeah.
RebelNewsStore.com.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Not bad.
Turn heads.
Actually, like it's funny because I saw a lot of people like sometime in the event are wearing some merch of us, and I'm just like, hey!
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
it's
like
always
it.
cool because you spot an ally out in the crowd
Yeah.
when you see someone wearing some Rebel
Oh,
News
yeah.
merch. Yeah.
It's like the opposite of when someone asks you where you work. And you're like, I don't know you well enough to tell you where
I know.
work.
I'm always like, I work in news.
Yeah, and they're like, what company? And,
And
you're
I'm And then I tell them anyway, and they run away screaming.
yeah. They're
Anyway.
either like, oh, awesome, or they're like,
Yeah.
you're like,
Horrified.
okay.
I was just wondering, next time I'm seeing like just introduce, should I wear that shirt?
Yes.
Yes, you should.
You absolutely
We'll
should.
have you arrested. We'll send you cookies.
I do think it will hinder him from answering your question, but the look on his face will be worth it. So please do it.
yeah. Like him
Or
trying
maybe-
not to react.
Oh, imagine if I bring him a shirt of his face.
No, I wouldn't. They'll take that as a threat if you try to give him something.
Probably.
They'll
Especially
be like,
you.
she's got a gun. It's like, it's a t-shirt.
Yeah, he might
literally
blow
a
things out of
t-shirt.
proportion,
Oh,
yeah.
would he?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
He might
he's a
trample you
drama
with a
teacher.
horse.
So, anyway, should we talk about the climate and how it's allegedly changing?
Yeah, so
Oh,
this is a
yeah.
video from the United Nations chief, and we'll let it speak for itself.
We left COP26 with 1.5 degrees on life support. Since then, its pulse has weakened further. This has to be the decade of decisive climate action. That means trust, multilateralism, and collaboration. We have a choice: collective action or collective suicide. It is in our hands.
You know, I'm pretty sure collective malnourishment will also result in collective suicide when we're all forced to eat bugs.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
saying.
that is actually something like they say. Oh, now we need like to be really conscious of the climate change. I'm sorry. I remember when I was 12 and they were talking about the climate change, that we will not pass over the year 2000. And I'm still here.
Yeah. You're
It's
here already.
2020, and it's just something that is always been there.
Yeah.
I didn't see really something being changed in the society until now. I have the impression that the pandemic, and now we need to change everything, build back better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they are taking our, compliance during the pandemic and seeing if they can spin it so that we'll be compliant with their climate initiatives. And I just don't think it's going to stick the same way. I think people know it's kind of BS because, as you said, this has been a narrative that they've been perpetuating for years. Like think about like the ocean, like people who buy property on the coast. It's like they were like, oh, water levels. It's like, well, then people wouldn't be building property on the coast.
Barack Obama.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, Holler, people know it's a bit of a scam.
But yes and no, because people are so freaked out. Like in my just scrolling on Reddit or Twitter, which I know are places that are like, left leaning, but it's like the way that they talk about climate deniers, and it's like, can I not just live my life without being called a denier?
Yeah,
exactly. Like, I love the environment. I want more trees. I want the world to live. I want clean air.
Yeah.
I want to take care of the planet. At the same time, it's rich people, and we can talk about this in terms of like celebrities and elites, but like it's those people whose their
carbon
footprint is like 60 times the average person, who are telling us like, don't use saran wrap, don't use straws, and it's like, can I not live my life? Like, I haven't been on a jet in literally years.
Yeah.
Am I okay? I think I'm fine.
I think you've done well.
I'm doing well. I recycle. I rinse my stuff before I put it in the bin. But like, I'm not going to turn my life upside down just because of climate alarmism when they're acting like, oh, the heat wave is killing everyone. It's like, I remember heat waves in the 90s.
Yeah. Well, it's like the same with like the forest fires in British Columbia. It's like, I grew up in BC. We've had forest fires forever. And they're usually started by people. So, Holler, just be more responsible citizens.
But I find that this is the perfect moment, okay? I just explained my vision of the thing is like the population is already polarized really for what happened like with the vaccine. If you didn't take the vaccine, you were a selfish person that you didn't like do it for the population. And it's the same narrative. Oh, you're not like going to eat bugs. You're a selfish person. You will not contribute for the climate change. And this will go over and over and over for everything that is happening. They will use that an emotional manipulation that people feel like ashamed. So they will do it because they don't want to be called by name or selfish or being out of the society because they don't follow what the people supposedly is what we should do as a good citizen.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a really good point.
It's just it's funny because we were just talking about how schools should put more effort into like stopping bullying, which even when I was in school way back in the day, there was all sorts of like anti-bullying, like
like wear pink.
Exactly, or like what's that assembly? Like they'd have a speaker come and talk about anti-bullying. But then this is such an example of bullying on a global scale, where they're like, if you don't wear your mask, if you don't eat bugs, like just what Alexa said, you are one of the bad people. You're one of the Trump people. Even if you literally are a type of person who never liked Trump, who's an environmentalist, who's a vegetarian. Like, you can be all those things. You can be pro-gay marriage. You can be pro whatever. But
there's no grace.
Exactly. And you can just be like, well, I don't know if I think the climate crisis is as dire as people. And they're like, whoa, that's it. You're a Trumper. You're canceled. That's it. It's like,
it's so true. You're
it's like black and white. You're extreme. And I think you're right, Alexa. I think it is I think it's deliberate to separate people, to make it more easy to control people, because people don't want to be on the outside of society. It's an evolutionary thing, especially. And I think it was Tucker Carlson at one of our it was one of the TDF events where he was talking about there's an actual correlation between living in a cold climate and being a collectivist, because it makes sense. Because if you live in a cold climate like Canada, and you, like back in the day, if you lived in a small village and you were outcast by the village, you're going to die in the woods and freeze to death. So you want to be a collectivist because that's where the food is, that's where the fire is, that's where the
survival
pelts are. Exactly.
Yeah.
So Here in Canada, it's probably why people are way more likely to be like divided like that, because they're like, he's an outsider, get him.
It's true. Do you guys notice too that these people never provide data? They always just use like scary words in their speeches, and they use words like suicide and all that sort of stuff. But they never really give you proper data in these sorts of speeches to back it up. It's just a bunch of crap. Like it's funny. Like it's like, give me the data and maybe I'll take you a little more seriously. But they don't have it. Like they just don't have it.
Yeah. Well,
example, okay? Like now they are pushing really that we change our diet for insect-based diet. And they say that it's because doing some farm of animal farm, like a cow or pig, it's really bad for the environment, okay? It's very bad. So they say that cricket farm or worm or whatever it can be, tarantula or scorpion, it produce less like GHG. How you say it in English? Because we say GES in French, but it's GHG, gas.
Oh, greenhouse gas.
Yeah, okay. So we say something else.
You crazy
but
Frenchies.
They say that produce less of this green gas, as well, like they use less water, less farmland. But in the same time, we see Bill Gates like buying this 242,000 acre of farmland and just like, or do he will take that, put some house on this, and just say anyway you will eat insect.
Yep.
They ain't the ones eating the bugs. That's for damn sure.
And it's all these celebrities. Like there was that video of Nicole Kidman having a full insect meal.
Yeah.
And Kim Kardashian and she doesn't. I don't think she's eating bugs.
She's
but
eating
it's
Beyond
like,
Meat.
Yeah, Beyond Meat. It's like, go ahead, eat what you want, but it's just like certain other things that were mandated and pushed on us, which I won't.
Pro-choice.
Yeah, like
where's the
like
pro-choicers?
do what you want to do. You want to eat crickets, Nicole Kidman, go for it. Like,
I'll eat steak.
But
eat steak.
The World Economic Forum doesn't want that. The World Economic Forum say, you normal citizen will eat bugs. During us, we will look at you and we will enjoy our meat, our nice, fine gourmet meal. And we will love because you are all lizard and you eat insects. So everybody, if you are against eating insect, go inside my petition at iwon'teatbugs.com.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look at that
because
little guy.
I swear to God, I'm taking that petition and I'm going to see Mr. Trudeau and I'm going to give him not only the petition, but I think I will offer him like one of my tarantula that I just ordered from one of the video.
I think you really
We'll
appreciate
visit you
that.
in prison.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rebel News is pushing back against the pro-bug eating movement by preparing a petition. And this is Alexa's petition. And it's funny because Alexa actually you eat bugs, right?
No, but
You have.
She's a flaming bug eater, y'all.
Well, you're an adventurous person, but it's like you can like we've talked about this. It's like a good source of protein. Like people can choose to eat bugs if they want to eat bugs, but the fact that it's being shoved down our throats, literally and metaphorically, is weird.
In 2019, I did order some powder of crickets because I was training, and a lot of people did talk to me about you can eat, but because I'm not a big meat eater, because I was traveling in India and Sri Lanka and all these places that is vegetarian mostly. And so at that point I was more training. So I was like, oh, nice, good option. So it's just a powder. I tasted it. It was like, it tastes not really much. If you put like other stuff like cookies or stuff, you don't eat that raw.
Mask it in sugar.
Yeah.
But I try a grasshopper and this disgusting.
Ooh, let's
like,
see. Can we watch that?
Is this the video where you actually eat it?
No, it's actually another like Twitter where I say, I'm gonna do it, guys, for you. I'm gonna taste it.
Oh, you're brave.
And Guillaume did that too.
Oh,
and,
he's brave.
And it tastes like some crepes that is in your place like for like maybe 2 years, and
like
it was
chips?
open. Yeah,
like stale chips.
Yeah.
Ugh.
and you arrive and you eat it, and it's just not fresh and tastes old. Like
That sounds horrible.
yeah, it's just horrible.
Stale chips are disgusting.
You know who does like to eat bugs? This little guy. He loves to eat bugs. So let's
Oh, really?
let's let the animals eat them. You know, you can pounce on a cricket there, Pep, and I will again enjoy my meat and vegetables.
I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure that it's good for dogs too. Like for
Oh, no,
animals.
I just
I'm not
mean-
even sure.
He just literally will see a moth and he'll pounce on it and eat it. He's
like
vicious.
What can you do
I'm not-
about it?
I'm not kidding. Like when I was in Africa, I got malaria from a fly, like from a mosquito, and I'm just like, I got malaria from the mosquito. Why I would love to eat the mosquito?
Oy.
Can you explain?
Oh,
No.
mosquitoes, I feel like, are not on the menu, but they will
You
get
watch.
there. They will
You
get there.
watch.
They'll be like mosquito bites,
It keeps you
mosquito
young.
dip-ums with
has-
chipotle sauce.
Yikes. It's
Yeah.
a new Botox or something.
It's just so
Yeah.
funny that everything is plant-based and now it's going to be insect-based, and it's like, ugh,
Yeah, I'm good.
good.
I am.
Me too.
good.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
definitely sign the petition, and then also on at iwon'teatbugs.com, you can donate to support our 100% viewer-funded independent journalism, because we are planning to continue to expose the World Economic Forum and the global elites running it.
Look at that
So-
poor little
Oh,
cricket.
yeah.
It looks like Pepe.
He does look like Pepe.
Don't eat that.
Yeah, it's great. Beautiful
Ugh.
image. Should we do another ad break?
Let's do an
y'all?
ad break.
Let's check this out.
Adam Sos here for Rebel News. You know, our company is growing quickly, and we'd actually like for your company to grow too. That's why this ad space that I'm speaking through right now is actually available for you to purchase. So instead of people listening to me, they could actually be learning about your company, learning about your business. If this interests you, if this is an opportunity you'd like to capitalize on, send us an email at ads@rebelnews.com.
Adam Extra Sauce.
Yeah,
That's what I call him.
yeah. So if you want
Extra sauce.
Like sauce. Adam with the side of extra sauce.
I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
And his shirt is also from the Rebel News store,
Yeah.
y'all. So
Yeah.
be
Free
sure
the
to buy it.
beef.
We're talking about beef. Beef
Yeah,
needs to be
free
free.
to be.
Yeah, perfect. Well, that's great. Should we move on to our next topic? This is a
Keep it
topic you're
rolling.
very passionate about,
Yeah.
Alexa. ArriveCan, do you wanna spearhead this one?
Yeah, so as many people know, a lot of like horror story we saw like in social media of people arriving and not wanted to comply to download ArriveCan and comply to do the PCR test, because for most of them it makes no sense, especially for ArriveCan, because some people had like their passport, their proof of vaccination, sometimes 4 times vaccinated, and they received fine of $5,000 plus taxes, $5,750 for not complying to have ArriveCan, and not complying for the PCR test is the same amount. So they result on about $12,000 fine for not complying on the restriction imposed by the government. I invite you to watch the video of the budget 2021 where Blaine Calkin, sorry, it's English word.
That's how I feel when I say French words.
Is actually talking that is in the budget. They have $105 million of dollars invested during 5 years for the project in partnership with the World Economic Forum that's called the Non-Digital Traveler Identity, and it look like the same thing that ArriveCan that was installed in the same time.
Yeah, let's watch this.
Yeah.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to ask my colleague, he brought up tourism, and I want to talk to him about air travel. In page 74 of the budget, there is an announcement of $105 million over 5 years for something known as the Known Traveler Digital Identity pilot project. A Google search of Known Traveler Digital Identity takes us to the World Economic Forum document, which is called the Known Traveler Digital Identity Concept, which is talking about things like attestations of citizenship, educational degrees, and so on, including vaccination for viral disease. I'm wondering if my colleague could expand on just what the government is investing tax dollars for on this front. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to ask my
This is incredible. They use the taxpayer money to put chain on them on their own country. So we did pay for have this application that we don't want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
just ridiculous.
And like one of the things, I think it was when the three of us were on the live stream, maybe last week or the week before, I remember we were talking about this, and I mentioned like the whole pandemic started to protect the elderly from COVID. What about old people who are traveling who don't use smartphones?
yeah.
And we saw a video of that exact same thing where this lady,
now, yeah.
like it's
It's ageist.
it's
yeah.
ageist, and this woman was like, well, my father doesn't use. Yeah, there it is. Excuse me.
Oh,
He has to cancel. We can put him onto your account that you've done. How come you don't want to do it?
Why should I have to?
Because it's a requirement to get into Canada.
What if he was flying by himself?
I will be flying by my cell phone. I don't have a cell phone.
Yeah, that's
So
I'm
what
saying.
does he
You can
do?
Put it on hers.
No.
Yeah, but if I'm flying by myself, how can I do
Are
that?
you guys related?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the problem with putting it on your account?
I don't think I should have to.
Why not? What's the issue?
Nancy, never mind. This is bureaucracy gone amok.
I know.
But you know that's why you have to do it, right? This is one of the requirements. It's part of the Quarantine Act, right? To get back in.
Well, let's see. You've got my COVID shots. I've had 4 of them.
Okay, that's good.
You have my passport.
Okay.
Why not? Let's just do the paperwork and get this over with.
Because they want the app. The government wants the app. Let me ask you, what's the reason why you don't want to do it?
I don't think I should have
No,
to.
but there's got to be a reason to it, though.
I don't think I should have to.
But there has to be. A
It's
specific
I'm
reason.
traveling. This is my phone. It's my app.
Okay.
I'm just having myself on it.
like they just say it. The government want the app. The government want the app. Why? We have a passport.
Exactly.
Because we have a passport that we have since a while. And another thing, like the partnership for the World Digital Traveler Identity is in partnership as well with which other country that is actually falling right now? Dutch.
I didn't know that.
I did not know that either.
Yeah.
So do you guys think that this initiative will be successful, or do you think there will be a big enough pushback where people will continue to complain at airports, because it is obviously causing even further inefficiencies? Do you think they'll be successful though? I mean,
No, I think it will be successful because that's how the government, it's like a steamroller. They're just going to squish anybody who opposes them.
yeah, especially when the World Economic Forum is involved.
RFCAN will fall when we will re-elect someone else than Justin Trudeau.
Right.
True, yeah.
Justin Trudeau will keep pushing for having it. He have the support of the NPD, probably, I'm probably sure.
Right.
And so it is majority to decide what is keeping in place or not. The only thing is like this app, and it has been like during the pandemic, they were tracking like more than 33 million of device. Are you really surprised that they are doing that again for traveler? Of course. It's not about health, because if it was about health, you will have just as the proof of vaccination and the passport will be enough. It's because you want to be able to track where you're doing your quarantine. You want to know where we went and where we are going. And after that, you will be able to say, oh, but your carbon footprint, it's a little bit over, so now you cannot do anything. This is speculation, but it can be that too.
Well, that's already what they're doing in Justin Trudeau's favorite country outside of Canada, China, with the social credit system. This is just a step in that direction where eventually they'll say, oh, we saw what you posted on Twitter. You can't get a mortgage now.
It's
and people,
always a slippery
5
slope.
years ago, that was just like, oh, like that was a Black Mirror episode.
Yeah,
But now this is the reality, and it's absolutely terrifying. And it's going to be like a new version of Amish, where there's going to be like I think it will be the majority of people who go along with this, because that's what we saw during COVID.
It's convenience,
Only
right?
12% of Canadians have had 0 doses.
Well, people don't want to get fined. No one wants.
Yeah, and
especially
they
with
don't
the
want to
cost
get
of living.
outcast like we were talking about before.
Yeah.
They don't want to be cut out of the collective. So I think it'll be like 10 to 12% of the population will be like, I'm out.
Yeah.
And you won't be able to have a smartphone, and we'll have to have alternate ways to get loans. We'll have small business loans from private banks and stuff, because that's it. I mean, this is a tinfoil hat theory, but it's like the more we see people like that, like pushing back on an elderly man who's like, right now I'm traveling with my daughter, but I will be traveling alone. He's wearing his mask. He's been He's in a boosted. He's in a wheelchair. He's like, you have my paperwork. What's the problem? And like the more we see of that, the more I'm like, this is not good.
Yeah.
This is
Well,
not good.
thankfully, Rebel News is pushing back, and you guys can help. So, in partnership with the registered Canadian charity, the Democracy Fund, we are launching, hopefully, trying to do some litigation to push back against this. So, you can go to noarrivecan.com and read up on it more, and also sign our petition. Let's put an end to this. It must be stopped.
It must be stopped.
Yeah, but like we need to explain that we are searching the best case to challenge on the charter. So it needs to be like a perfect case that we can really go further and challenge the ArriveCan app. So if you think like you're the perfect case, please fill the form so we can like study your case and see if we can go further with that to challenge the ArriveCan app. And please, you can sign the petition, and in the same time you can donate generously, so that money we can use it for going in court and challenge it with the best lawyer that we have.
And if you donate, it's tax deductible because you're donating to the registered Canadian charity, the Democracy Fund.
Yep.
So it's kind of a win-win.
It is a win-win.
So do it.
And in the same time, when I bring the Dutch, that they are in partnership as well with us, but on Saturday, I have everywhere in Canada a big protest in support of the Dutch. So the freedom fighter invite everybody for this big protest. You have one in Toronto. I know you have one in Montreal. You have everywhere in Alberta, Edmonton, everywhere. You can see in their website, I think, on the freedom fighter. And they invite the people to wear the Dutch flag upside down in support.
Does that work?
of
Oh,
them.
it does work.
Yeah, it's working.
It's still, I would like, as someone who doesn't know about the flag, I'd be like,
is it upside down?
is
I
it
don't know.
red or
Yeah.
blue on top? I don't know. But yes, do that. It's at Queen's Park in Toronto. I'm not sure where the other ones are, but you can easily Google it.
Yeah, and Rebel News will have reporters on the ground covering these protests, and you can follow them on Twitter to check out their coverage. Follow Rebel News online on Twitter, and then, of course, you can donate to support our independent journalism at farmerrebellion.com. So,
And you can wear your Rebel News merch down at the protest and make new friends.
Heck yeah.
And people bring their dogs. It's really fun.
Yeah.
It's
Go
always
pet a
very
dog.
peaceful. It's lovely.
It's lovely.
Bring water though. It'd probably be hot.
Yeah.
I went to a protest last summer and it was so hot.
It was too hot.
It was so hot.
Too hot to handle.
And I needed to go to Starbucks and they wouldn't let me use the restroom.
It's rude.
Because of COVID, and I was like, so what am I supposed to do? It was a whole thing. So you know what? Go pee before you
Be
go. Bring
prepared.
water. Be
Moral
prepared.
of the story.
Yeah.
Always be prepared.
Yeah.
Should we move on to this next one? Interesting.
Yes.
So poll shows Canadians support COVID-19 vaccine boosters, but the intake has stalled. So are the polls telling us the truth, or what do you think about this?
I think people are lying. I think it's just like wearing a mask into a restaurant and then taking it off to eat your food and like talking and coughing and
just the right thing to do.
It's the illusion. So if a pollster asks you, I mean, it's online. It was 1,000 people that were surveyed online. But so it's not like a face-to-face thing, but people want to believe they're doing the right thing. So they'll say, of course, I'm getting my third or fourth, whatever booster.
Yeah.
Of course I'm doing that. But then it's like, oh, have you made an appointment? Not yet, because in this article it says people are approving of the boosters, but they don't see it as extremely necessary because they don't think the virus is that deadly and that it's not such an urgent matter.
Well, they haven't died yet, and we're 2.5 years in, so
Yeah.
there's that. But I mean, I wonder if it's also a convenience thing. Like, you know, when you have to go like upgrade your license or go to the passport office or something, it's just so like, because we have so much bureaucracy in this country.
Ugh.
Like, it's just the most like painful thing ever. Maybe getting your booster is just it's too inconvenient for people.
Honestly,
Like, who wants to get them for life?
especially when people are like, maybe I'm being a germaphobe, which I was before the pandemic, but it's like, do I want to go to a place with a bunch of people with weak immune systems and possibly get sick? Like in the winter, I cut my thumb really, really badly and it was bleeding for like 6 hours and it just wouldn't stop. And people are like, oh, you should go to the hospital. I'm like, why would I go to the hospital?
I would rather probably die.
I was like, I'm not going to that like germ infested, like, sorry, it's not life threatening. So maybe people are like, ooh, do I need to go line up with a bunch of people who are elderly and sickly and want to get their boosters when I don't feel sick? Probably not. Like,
it's a good point.
I know.
Since we are touching really dangerous subject, should we change platform? Because what is coming, it's probably
what do you think,
a little
producer?
bit wider.
Do you think we should move over, Olivia? Okay, we'll keep it light.
We'll keep it light.
We'll,
Okay. Stop being so dramatic.
Yeah, it's already he's boosted.
So-
So,
So it's just because Quebec are using, the biggest festival like that we have. It's like called the Festival of Quebec.
Okay.
That we have in July.
I thought it was the Just for Laughs festival.
But that one is
Second.
really huge, and we receive like really big like name group as Maroon 5, as like other like big name, and so we talk about almost like 65,000 people on the field, Abraham Field. So Quebec are using this event saying, oh my God, they are so close, and it's why we see a rising like number of cases in the hospital. I'm sorry, but if you were really, really scared about that, why you let that event happen?
Well,
that's a good point.
I think the assumption is, and it's true, like most people are vaccinated, but it does, like, am I even allowed
but
to
the
say the
success
obvious?
is interesting. The success is interesting.
Yeah.
It's
It's just interesting.
The effectiveness.
I think the efficacy is not even up for question anymore, but I won't say, I'm just going to.
The vaccine works.
So
we love the
it's
vaccine
extremely
here.
safe and effective.
You get your booster for life.
Keep getting boosted
And
every 9 months.
I really like to see Justin Trudeau and Biden like just getting it all the time.
I know must be
Same
so
if
annoying.
they have like 4, maybe 5. Same, I don't know, but like I'm just like, yeah.
You should
It's
get like
good.
a punch card and then you get a prize after
Joe
like 10.
Biden is a human pincushion anyways. I'm sure he's
No,
full of all
yeah.
sorts of stuff, so
Yeah.
he doesn't mind. He's like, what's that? Another one? Put it in.
Put it in my face.
This one is your
Both
insulin. This
sides.
one is your vitamins today, sir, so that you can walk.
Well, that's just sad. This
It
is
is
taking a sad turn.
I'm sorry.
No.
Speaking of sad, Quebec rolling out vaccines for children under 5 as of Monday.
I'm not surprised. Quebec.
Are we allowed to comment on this at all?
I think
Let's
it's
just
my comment
say
was
it. We'll just say it, and then we'll just be silent for the next 5 minutes and smile.
Okay, but me, I will say Quebec is really different. I think the virus is French, and it's really more
it's
dangerous.
It's
Yeah, it's French.
It's
and
a
so,
virus.
What? Das ist nicht gut. That's German.
That's German.
but have you seen like we are always a step further than everybody? And I have the impression that they test us before like just saying, okay, everybody will
Guinea
do
pigs.
it. Yeah, but
You're the control
now-
group. I'm sorry.
My thing is, it's just like a lot of people in Quebec. I don't talk about Montreal or Gatineau, but a lot of people doesn't speak English, so they just see that and they're just like, oh, I'm going to do it. No, just like try to
cheap.
get your information where, like not in the media paid by the state, and just like get information somewhere else.
I know, it's
This
so
is my
hard.
only concern. Yeah.
It's so hard because our media is such a monster in this country. Like, it's so hard to cut through that propaganda because it's everywhere. It's unavoidable. We're bombarded with it on the regular. But you're so right. Like, it's up to us as individuals to break through that and try to do our own research. And whatever you decide, at least you've done your research.
Yeah. And I think that it's also really smart to look at both sides of the story. Like here at Rebel News, we tell the other side of the story. That's our motto. But I still follow mainstream media.
Me too.
Because I want to see,
yeah.
if I only lived in my own little echo chamber, I wouldn't be intellectually curious, and that's not healthy for
You
my
gotta be a
brain.
critical thinker.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I follow Justin Trudeau on Twitter because it's
You
important
need to
to
laugh.
You-
No, just kidding.
because even though I roll my eyes at everything he tweets, it's like to close myself off to what the prime minister of our country is saying on a daily basis. Like that's what I said that during when Trump was the president, when people are like, oh, you follow Trump. It's like, I mean, I don't even live in the States, but if I did, it's like, you don't follow the president of your own country
Yeah.
because you disagree. Don't you want to know? It's like a source of news.
What is the next step? You want to know what is the next
exactly.
Yeah.
So and it's important to like you guys just said, it's important to do your own research and not just listen to one person. So if you're only listening to Rebel, you're only getting our side of the story, which
Yeah.
is, I think, the correct side of the
Well,
story.
yeah, like we follow the facts wherever they lead.
And we get our stories
Yeah.
from all sorts of sources too. So you
Yeah.
are seeing a ton of variety, but like you have to range out as well.
Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah. But in the same time, like I would say, I follow like all politicians, whatever. But you see, you have like many sides of the story. Just listening the politician at the House of Commons, you can hear it. Like they agree and disagree for so many things. So all the media can have one side of the story perfect. When on the House of Commons, they cannot agree on some point. So it's impossible.
Yeah,
Impossible.
I know, like the media has it all sorted out, but the people who are actually making the decisions are
Confused as hell.
Are
Yeah.
arguing these things on
Yeah.
a daily basis. That's such a good point.
That is.
Should we roll another ad?
Yeah,
This
definitely.
is my favorite ad.
Ever.
Ooh.
This is Alexa's favorite
It's
ad ever,
obviously
too.
everyone's
She's not
favorite.
sick of it at all.
Okay, no one is. No, they love it. Well, that's just great. Mm-hmm. That's
That makes me want to buy some Misunderstood merch.
If you haven't already
Yeah.
purchased any, you can get 10% off your first order of Misunderstood merch with the code Misunderstood10. It's a long one. You will exercise your fingertips.
Go to misunderstoodmerch.com and buy your merch today.
Today, right now.
Or else.
I
Anyway.
received my second one of I ordered like the black shirt.
Ooh.
Misunderstood.
I feel like you're going to look fantastic. in
Oh,
that.
Alexa, having someone like you support the brand is just
It's really
humbling.
crucial to
It's
our
humbling.
careers.
Okay, let's play this. Wait.
Do we want to?
Oh no, we're gonna do some chats. We're gonna do some chats.
Yeah,
We
we're
just
going to
talked
do
about
some
that.
chats.
Okay. Let's do some chats. Okay, this is from Katrina Panova. $10. Thank you.
Nice.
It says, hello, all you lovely rebel ladies on and off the screen. Much love and appreciation from a Nanaimo, BC, from Cat Canada on Instagram.
Oh,
I
hey,
follow
girl.
you.
Hey. Thanks so much, lovely.
Thank you. That's such a nice
Thank
comment.
you.
No questions. You get it.
Yeah.
Been debunked.
It's been debunked.
It's a
Thank
fact.
you, Katrina. Nice name, too.
Yeah, pretty name.
Who wants to take this one?
It's short one. I can.
Okay, you take it,
Oh
Alexa.
my God. Okay. Somebody has to explain the Milankovitch cycle to these lip door. What is lip? It's like a liberal but bastard. Is it that? It's like a mix
No,
of
it's the word that we're not supposed to say anymore, which means like I don't think we're supposed to say the word retard. Like it's like mentally
I
deficient.
don't- Oh, okay. I
Like-
didn't know. Oh, I learned a new word.
Yes, there you go. It's a slur, but it's also like you could say that this pen has a retardation because it's not writing properly. But I actually think the definition of retard is slow to
It's
learn.
slow, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So there you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I will.
But
I
we're
will
not
probably
supposed to
not
use the
it.
word. It's one of those canceled words. But libtard is okay because it's not the same word. It's different. I think.
Oh, I see. I know. Like it's supposed to be R and E at the beginning. Whatever.
You got it.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know what he was talking about. What's Milankovitch cycle?
I don't know.
You need to explain that to us, King
So send
7734. So
$100.
send us more money.
If you send $100,
We'll Google it right now. Oh, we
A
Googled
century
it.
ago, Serbian scientist Milutin, I'm not going to say that, hypothesized the
Milankovitch.
long-term collective effects of changes in Earth's position
That's true.
relative to the sun.
Okay, yes.
I know that. It's just
Long-term climate. Okay.
we in the past they found vestige, would say like the rest of pantry in the Pole North, because the Earth is turning like this, but it's turning like this in the side too. So it's normal that I would say they have like ice age and under ice age. That is normal that the planet's getting warm back, and after that would freeze back. But that's the normal cycle of the Earth.
Yes, I've
So
heard
it's
that theory, but not under that name, where if you expand the timeline of what you're looking at climate-wise, you would see that things go up and down like this constantly.
yeah.
There was like ice age, and then there was the heat that killed all the dinosaurs, and then it's like, so this, if you only look at like a 10-year
Chunk,
sample, you're like, oh my God, the Earth is warming. But it's like, okay, why don't you expand that view to the Earth is a little older than 10 years. So again, I'm not a climate scientist, but I've heard that.
We've talked about this on the show, our show Misunderstood, before as well. Like, the reason we know about so many more natural disasters and stuff is because we have the technology and the ability to be able to collect that data. So it seems worse, but it's just
and
because
everyone has a smartphone, and they're like,
Exactly.
"Oh no, there was that video of the flood at the wedding in Hawaii,
Right.
And it's like, oh my God, this is climate change." And it's like, so you're saying there were never big waves,
Right, and that's the thing. Back then, they didn't have cell phones, like
Yeah,
you said,
you
so
just
like
would
people
have
didn't know about
gotten
it.
wet and
yeah,
gone
exactly.
with it.
It's like, all right,
Yeah.
let's
Yeah,
welcome to work.
it's actually from my study, so I can like talk a lot about it, but I don't have like probably the English language appropriated for explain correctly, because it's really difficult when you talk about science to speak another language.
Well, you're doing an amazing job,
Yes,
Alexa.
you are.
Thank
If
you.
I had to speak I couldn't even speak like a toddler in French, really. I'd
Je
be like,
suis un petit fleur.
I can say, où est la
Oh.
bibliothèque?
All
Which
right,
I don't
so it's
even want to
okay.
go to the library.
Voulez-vous et vous? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay. Anyway,
We have some breaking news, though, right?
Yes, we do. So
right
we're going to
now.
pull up some of Ezra Levant's tweets. Wow.
Wow.
Okay. So biggest Alberta news story of 2022. The Alberta Court of Appeal just destroyed Jason Kenney's 2-year persecution of Pastor Artur Pawlowski. They ruled that the injunction against him, his arrest, his jail time, the censorship order, and fines against him were illegal. Wow. That is unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Let's
Yeah.
go to the second
This is
one.
big. This is
I'll read
really
this one.
big.
Yeah.
Kenny and his disgraceful justice and health minister spent millions of dollars hounding Pastor Archer and his brother Dawid. Kenny set the precedent for Justin Trudeau's political persecution of Tamara Lich. Today, the Court of Appeal ruled it was an illegal vendetta.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Woo!
Wow. I'm just like
This is
really
So-
reading it.
So Pastor Archer would have never had his day in court were it not for the thousands of Rebel News viewers who sustained 2 years of costly litigation. Thank you for all you do. If you haven't had a chance to help yet, please do it. SaveArcher.com. Yeah, because we still have to pay. The Democracy Fund is funding his litigation, so please donate there because they still have to pay for his lawyer fees. So please
Yeah.
donate. All your donations are tax
Those
deductible.
lawyers are not cheap
No,
because
they're
so
not.
good.
Yeah, they're so dang
They're
good.
so
Yeah,
good.
Sarah Miller is a legal eagle, as they call it. So please go to savearcher.com to donate right now. And again, you get it. It's tax deductible, y'all. So it's a win-win.
That is huge news.
Insane.
So does this mean he's good to go?
Yeah, I think so.
I think he's a free man.
Oh my God, can he start feeding the homeless again?
Well, I wouldn't do that because he'll be
I
arrested
remember
again.
I
No, I'm just
actually saw a
kidding.
tweet like last week that was during Eid, and it was about a restaurant who was feeding the homeless as a part. They extended their Eid to feeding homeless people, and it's a beautiful story.
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous. I love feeding homeless people. Wonderful. However, people will say to you that we're still in a pandemic. The pandemic is still on. So when Pastor Archer was feeding homeless people during the pandemic that is still going, he went to
Forever.
jail.
Yeah.
But this other small business who was also doing a wonderful thing was praised. It's just like that's interesting.
Yeah.
It's just interesting because
Yeah.
either the pandemic is over or there's a double standard.
Science
here.
is different depending on who you are.
Yeah, but I think we've just learned that the court has decided that there is a double standard and it was illegal what they did to Pastor Art.
It's amazing that there's still justice in this country because, it seems like it's been a little wonky lately. So it's just so amazing.
Well, thumbs up for Sarah Miller.
Well, I hope like for Tamara Lich, it would be like the same because it's just getting like persecuted still, and she's still in jail. So for me, it's just like it's another case that should not be happening at all.
Yeah, well, like Ezra tweeted that Pastor Archer's conviction set a precedent, which they used to imprison Tamara Lich. So this should
hopefully
have an effect, a cascading effect,
Yeah.
and free her as well.
You can also sign our petition at freetamara.ca. You know, and we've dropped it off already, but hopefully, you know, we can garner even more signatures, and we'll have someone else drop it
we
off
need
again.
to keep the foot on the gas on
Yeah.
this, because this is a huge win.
Oh yeah,
there's
of
also
course.
a shirt. Yes.
So go to the Rebel News store right now. Use code SUMMER. Buy 2 unisex shirts, get 1 free. You can wear a free Tamara Lich shirt. Show
Yeah.
your pride. That's
and
amazing.
And it says exactly everything right there.
Yeah, just
It's
free her.
Just free her. She's just a human being that did
She's
not
a
break any
grandma.
laws. She's a grandma.
She's a grandma, nice grandma who
She doesn't look like a
peacefully
grandma.
protests. So
She's
yeah,
a
she's
very
young.
young-looking grandma. She looks
She's native as well. So
right.
Yep.
Like
Interesting that Justin Trudeau would persecute a native woman.
yeah.
That's a joke, right? Because that's what he does.
Yeah.
I feel like people don't even know that.
Yeah.
They'd be like, oh, a Trudeau would never persecute a native person. It's like, ooh, that's kind of what they do.
Anyway, I think that's the sure.
Yeah, I think that's
The
it.
sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in to the Rebel News daily live stream, which airs every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Different hosts throughout on Rumble, YouTube, Getter, and Odyssey. And thank you guys for listening to us babble on about periods.
We
and
hardly
freedom.
talk
I'm just kidding.
Mostly about freedom. Thank you, Alexa, for joining us. I know you're very busy. She's
Yeah.
literally a superstar journalist.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you taking the time to speak to everyone and bringing a French perspective, cool chick perspective, because we're not cool.
No, we're very
We're
lame.
not. We're lame.
Any final words,
So-
Alexa?
Yes, of course. So for Arthur Pawlowski, we'll have like an article that will go soon out, and at 2 p.m. they will have like an emergency live stream.
Ooh.
Where
With
yeah,
Ezra
with
Levant.
Yeah,
Wow.
with Ezra Levant.
So you're going to hear it right from
Because we-
Andrew.
Andrew
Chapados.
Chapados? Andrew
Yeah.
Crapados.
It's literally from Andrew says it's $2. Alexa, eat a bug right now on live air, please. So
I can do it.
will you?
Yeah, but you need to give me like 1 minute for going and search
I don't
it.
want to watch Alexa suffer.
Pepe, his
No,
mouth
I
was
just
watering
have
at the
like
thought.
$2. I
Don't
would
do it. We're not gonna-
Just one.
We don't want to humor Andrew Chapados, so
Oh, she's doing it.
oh, she's gone.
She's gonna do
Uh-oh.
it. Oh my gosh, I might throw up.
I think we should just. She's crazy.
She's gonna do it.
Pepe, you want to eat the bug? Any
Yeah,
final words,
give it
Pepe?
to Pepe.
All right,
Okay, we're
let's
gonna
throw
do
to
an
an ad
ad.
while we wait for Alexa to eat a bug.
So I absolutely love having the opportunity to chat with you, to chat with our ever-growing audience. But I'd actually love for you to have that opportunity as well. We actually have advertising opportunities available with rebelnews.com. We don't get handouts from the government. We trust on supporters, viewers, and advertisers like you. So instead of folks listening to me in this spot, they could actually be checking out your company, getting information about your business. For more information or to advertise with us, send an email to ads@rebelnews.com.
Adam on
Sorry, I just found like my cricket powder.
Ugh. You're crazy.
I don't know.
We can see
I don't know
it.
if you can see it.
Pull it back a little bit.
Just 1 minute. I
There you go.
unblur my.
Yeah. Oh, yummy.
Delicious.
So are you gonna eat that, or are you gonna eat a cricket?
Yeah, no, but it's.
Ugh.
Alrighty.
At least there's no crunch. I was gonna puke.
Right before lunch. This is appetizing. Thank you for that.
Her face. It looks like the smell is worse than the taste.
Yeah.
No, both is disgusting.
Okay, well, everyone, please pray for Alexa. And before you tune into our emergency live stream with Ezra Levant at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, go to rebelnews.com. I guess it'll be streaming on Rumble, Getter, YouTube, the whole 9 yards, Odyssey. So please tune in and get updates on Pastor Archer's release. And like I said, please pray for Alexa because she's
She's gonna throw up. A minute. We need to cancel.
I
this
know,
now.
but it actually smelled like, like fish food, like like the fish
Oh,
food
yes.
that you put.
Oh.
And when you put it in your mouth, I think it's even worse than the whole bugs, because it actually tastes shit.
Oh. Okay. Well, this has been fun.
This has been great.
We'll chat soon.
Alexa, you're a star.
All right. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Don't forget 2 p.m. live stream, guys. Be back here soon. All right. Bye.
Cheers.
Hello friends, this is Pastor Art Poloski. If you're watching this video, that means they have successfully arrested me and I am in jail. If you would like to support me, if you would like to support Rebel News and the legal team that is trying their best to get me out of this trouble, please go to savearthur.com. Please donate, please help me, help my family, help my wife and my children to get me out of this horrible, illegal situation. Please go to savearthur.com and get me out of this if you can.